I've been tagged so many times on Instagram to review this product. You guys know me so well. If you haven't seen yet, Natasha Denona launched a new eyeshadow palette. It's a limited edition palette, but it's called the Pastel Palette. I love pastels. You guys know me so well. I've been into ethereal pastel lavendery makeup for like a solid couple of years now. So when I saw this on Instagram and when you guys saw it, I know so many of you guys wanted me to test it out. I wanted to test it out myself. And last week I received it in PR. So I'm really excited to finally be able to test this out for you guys. I really love the packaging. So this is a 15 pan palette. It retails for $65. There are 8 mattes, 7 shimmers, and it's obviously all pastels, which I'm super excited about. I feel like pastels are very trendy right now. I will put up a video I took earlier today of this palette in natural light. This was actually direct sunlight, so the colors look really nice and vibrant in this video, so you guys can get a feel for what it looks like underneath the sunlight. For size reference, this is the same size as the palettes like the Retro palette or the Glam palette, which I've said this before, but I love when Natasha creates palettes in this size because I feel like it's just the right pan size, just the right price point for Natasha Denona, where some of her other palettes can get quite a bit more expensive. It says that there is a innovative new formula in this palette. It's a vibrant translucent multi-chrome that can be worn alone or as an illuminating top coat. And I don't know if that means it's this shade right here, Illusion. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out as we play around with these. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some arm swatches really quickly so you can see all the shades lined up together. Now that I've swatched them, I am 10 times more excited to put these on my eyes. This looks like it could potentially be the purple and blue pastel palette of my dreams. I'm gonna go with my NARS eyeshadow primer. I use this with every eyeshadow, but especially when going in with pastels, you're gonna wanna make sure to prep the eyelid somehow. Oh my gosh, as I got it all over my lashes. Oh no. Oh well, just because pastels are pastel, so you want to make sure that you have a nice clean base where the color can grip onto and really pop. So in my experience, I like to prep the eyes when I know I'm going to wear a pastel shadow. Plus, this primer is my favorite. I don't go a day without it when I know I'm going to wear a more glamorous or eye-focused makeup look. So I'm just blending that out with my fingertips. I've been seeing a bunch of looks on Instagram by Natasha herself using this palette, and she does really cool, almost patchwork, very watercolor, tie-dye type looking eye looks. So I'm gonna kind of take inspiration from that and just create a look using as many colors as I can and see what we come up with. I'm gonna start off in the bottom corner using the shade Feather, which is a gorgeous lavender color. So I'm dipping into Feather first, and I'm gonna kind of just focus this on the outer portion of the crease using circular motions. I'm gonna work with some of the mattes first, layering as I go. Something I've noticed as well with pastels that might be different than other more rich colors that you play with is you do have to take a little more time to press sometimes, to buff a little bit. That's just the nature of pastels. This seems to be buffing in really beautifully. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. This is kind of different for me because I usually go in with my transition shade all the way in, but I'm trying to channel my inner Natasha today. So we're taking a slightly different approach. I'm blending it up toward the end of the brow a little bit, just to start to map out a little bit of shape there. I'm already obsessed with the shade Bubble. When I swatched that, I was like really excited. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the same brush and dip into the shade Bubble, which is a really nice, vibrant periwinkle color. I'm tapping off the excess, and let's see, let's put this more toward the lash line. Again, I'm using more pressing motions first to really pack on the color, and then I'm gonna buff that into the bottom portion of the crease where we just applied the purple, so they kind of blend together. I'm also kind of sweeping this outward, but a little lower than where we applied the purple. I already love where this is going. Okay, I'm really doing things a little differently today. I'm gonna go into the shade Bellini next, which is this really cute pastel orange. I'm gonna take that on a fluffy brush, and I'm wanting to create a little bit of structure and color in this inner portion of the eye. So kind of in the inner crease right here, I'm just buffing this orange up into the brow and then a little bit into that inner crease. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap in the middle so we can add another color, but I'm just wanting some of that orange right in here. And again, I'm really buffing it up into the brow so we can create a little bit of dimension in that area. Next, I'm gonna take the green. This is called Zest. It's a really pretty pastel green. And I think I wanna apply that on this inner portion of the eye. I actually really love the green and orange together. I think it's really pretty. These are very vibrant pastels. You do have to kind of press and really buff, but it doesn't take too many layers to get a very vibrant color, which I love. That is so pretty. Wow. Oh my gosh, I love that. I'm gonna hop into a shimmer shade now. I'm gonna go into the shade Dainty using my fingertip. This is a really gorgeous lavender shimmer, and I think this would be so pretty on the center of the lid. So I'm just gonna pop that in the center, layering it over the blue and slightly over the green. I might add another shimmer over the green, so I'm leaving most of that bare, but I do wanna kind of blend the two together with this. Same thing on the other eye. I'm going back in with a little bit of bubble, which was that blue shade right up against the lash line, just to make sure I don't lose that color on the lash line since my eyes are more hooded. When I open my eyes, I want to be able to see all the colors on the lid. Next, I'm going to dip into this purple shade right here. This is called Bora, and I'm just using this to kind of ground the very, very edge of the eye. I'm not going over top of the blue as much as on the very corner of it, and then blending it into the very outer edge of that crease just to add a little more of something on that corner. Taking a more flat brush and dipping into Limoncello, and I'm using this shade to kind of highlight the inner corner. I'm bringing it over top of that green, but not all the way, because I really want this to flow from mattes to shimmers and from color to color really seamlessly without completely covering each other up all the way. So I'm really focusing this shimmer on the very inner corner. It's really pretty on top of that green. I'm loving this so far. I'm going back in with a little bit of Bellini in that inner corner, and then I feel like I need some pink. So I'm going to take the shade Tulle, which is the top right hand color, or I guess it's on the left. It was on the right in my monitor, but I'm going to take a little bit of this pink and just kind of create a little bit of a connection in the transition area right here. And I'm going to kind of carry that pink out a little bit more on the edge. So this is kind of becoming our transition shade, but it's a lot higher up on the brow bone than I normally do. Since it's pastel, I feel like it works though. I'm really loving where this is going. I do want to kind of ground the lash line. Since these colors are very, very light, I think it'll be nice to have a little bit more depth on the lash line. So I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner. This is a blue double-sided eyeliner that I recently picked up. I'm going to take the matte dark blue liner and go right up against the lash line all the way across from inner corner to outer corner just to bring definition back along that lash line. I thought a navy blue would be really nice. You could use a black if you would like as well, but I thought a blue would be kind of fun and different since we're using so much color. And I'm truly going right up against the lash line because I don't want to cover up any of that color that we just applied on the lid. All right, I'm gonna throw on some top lash mascara. I'm gonna use my Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara and just apply it to the top lashes only. I'm gonna wipe away any fallout underneath the eyes. And I'm actually gonna kind of leave where the color landed along the lower lash line in the inner corner and outer corner. I'm gonna kind of leave that untouched so that I can connect that once we start doing the lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with my Beekman Milk Primer. Just apply that all over the face. For foundation, I'm gonna go into the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation in the shade 3 Cool. I'm just gonna apply a light layer of this all over the skin. I'm taking my NYX Bear With Me Serum Concealer and taking that on a sponge directly and then using that as my under eye concealer, being careful not to stamp over the color that we have on the corners. I'm just warming up the skin a little bit with my Persona Cosmetics bronzer stick. I'm just setting my face with the Huda Beauty powder. And then I'm gonna add a little more warmth with my Mario bronzer. And then we'll be ready to hop back into the lower lash line of the eyes. All right, let's jump into the lower lash line. I'm gonna take the shade Airy, which is a really pretty pastel sky blue. And tap off the excess. And I'm gonna start to apply this on the inner corner of that lower lash line. I'm working in very, very light layers, kind of pressing it in to that lower lash line until I get the intensity that I want. Next, I'm gonna take this shade right here called Starlet, which is like a red and gold duochrome. I'm gonna spray my brush. Today I'm gonna use the REM Beauty Face Mist just to avoid fallout with this shimmer. And I'm going to apply it on the outer corner, connecting the purple from the top lid kind of into that blue. I'm going to use my Sigma switch to kind of wipe off that color on the same brush so that I can reach into Mint Frost, this one right here. This looks gorgeous. I'm going to pick that up on the brush and I'm going to give that a spritz as well. And I'm going to apply this shade super close to those lashes, right on top of where we just applied that pastel matte blue. I'm going to take a little bit of the orange shade called Bellini, And I'm just going to create a little bit of depth on this outer edge. So I'm kind of doing a transition shade for the lower lash line, I guess. Just right here underneath that reddish gold color. I think that looks so pretty. Next, I'm going to take the shade Illusion, which kind of has a golden pink hue to it. And I'm just going to pop this right here on the very, very inner corner of that lower lash line. And I'm going to apply it right underneath the highest point of the brow. Okay, I really like how things look. I'm going to go in with my REM Beauty eyeliner. This is the Kohl eyeliner in the shade So Mauve, which is a stark white. I'm going to warm it up on the back of my hand first, and then apply this to the waterline of my eye. And then I'm going to take the same Ilia mascara and apply that to the lower lashes. I love having bold lashes with pastel looks. I just think it really helps bring back the dimension around the eyes that can sometimes be lost with a pastel color since it is so light. I love the contrast of a lot of mascara with pastels. I think it looks so good. To finish up the look, I'm going to go into my Pat McGrath blush in the shade Flirtatious. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. I just feel like when I have color on the eyes or when I'm just not sure what kind of color I want to use with my eye look, this shade always pulls through for me and looks good with everything. So I'm just going to pop this on the apples of the cheeks. I'm going to wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. And I'm going to go into my Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner. I'm going to pair that with my Mario lipstick in the shade Aaron. This is one of my all-time favorite lip combos ever. I'm just going to mesh those together with my fingertip. And then I'm going to go into the REM Beauty Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade VCR, just to add a little bit of shine. I'm just touching up the brows, adding a little more bronzer to the forehead. And I really love how everything looks, so I'm going to go ahead and set that with the REM Beauty Mist. Just all over the face. I love how that mist smells. It smells like a spa. I'm just going to press everything down into the complexion. And then I am wanting a little bit of a highlighter. I think I'm going to use my Say Beauty Gel Highlight. So I just take a little bit of this on my sponge and just gently tap it into the high points of the face. Of course, I can't forget my brow gel, so we're going to set the brows. All right, you guys, so that completes this look using the new Natasha Denona Pastel Palette. It turned out very rainbow because, I tried to use as many shades as possible. You obviously would not have to use so many shades in one look, but I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. I love that watercolor patchwork kind of vibe that this gives. You could honestly use any of these all over the lid as a wash of color and then just pop on mascara and you would be good to go. So you can do things that are much more simple with this palette, but I really wanted to try as many colors as possible, and I'm very happy with how this turned out. I gotta say, based off my first impressions, this is a really gorgeous palette. I always am inspired by Natasha Denona palettes, so I'm super happy to have it in my collection. If you do pick this up, just know that pastels do sometimes take a little more work as far as building them up depending on the intensity that you want. That's the case with pastel shadows everywhere. Every pastel shadow that I've used takes a little more TLC to press the pigment into the eyes to get that nice pastel pop of color. I love the mix of mattes and shimmers in here. There's some really predictable pastel colors in here, which I'm obsessed with. And then also some that really stand out to me. The green, also the shade Bubble was really cool. I really love the orange. The yellow. I thought there was a lot of really fun, different types of colors. And I think this color right here kind of warms the palette up a little more and makes it really special in my opinion. So for me, I really love it. If you're into pastels, I think you're gonna really enjoy this. Pastels are super trendy right now. So if you're somebody who's never tried pastels before, I don't know if I would say go for Natasha Denona first. I would definitely go find, I think NYX has a pastel palette that's really fun. ColourPop has plenty. So just get a feel for pastels in general. See if you enjoy using them. If you do, then I think you would really enjoy investing in a Natasha Denona pastel palette. With that being said, it is limited edition, so you might not want to wait too long on this. I never know how long Natasha Denona palettes will stick around when they are limited edition, but hopefully she keeps this for a while. I think it's perfect for spring. Also, something to note is the Sephora sale is coming up pretty soon, so this might be something that you just wait for a couple more weeks to pick up and you can get a discount on it, which would be really nice. But but I'm happy to have this. I feel like everything about it speaks to my soul. I'm someone who loves pastels though, so I really can jump on board with this. If you're not a huge fan of color, but you want to dip into it, I think pastels are a great way to dip your toes in a much more approachable and soft way. Like this isn't screaming Skittles rainbow, but it is very colorful and very fun and watercolor, which I love. So for me, I'm excited to play with this, especially for spring. I've been seeing pastels everywhere. I can't wait to do a look using just the purples and blues. Or could you imagine this color all over the lid by itself? I think it would be absolutely stunning. So let me know if you want to see more looks using this. I would love to create more looks, so just let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. But yeah, I'm excited about this palette, and I would say that if you're into pastels and you're into Natasha Denona, you would really enjoy this. I think it really adds to my collection. It's nice to have pastel colors in one palette that I can create a full look and feel extremely inspired by. I'm so excited for spring, you guys. This look, I've been doing like a couple spring looks recently, and this one really took it to the next level, and now I'm like in full spring makeup mode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me apply the highly requested palette for me to review, which was the pastel palette. So I had so much fun filming this today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I would love to hear in the comments, are you guys into pastels these days? What do you think about this palette? Are you into it or are you gonna skip it? Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. And I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.